Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, we are on to part two of our Antarctica series. In part one, we discussed the general energies of Antarctica, and it looks like it was a disputed land for quite a while, and eventually the Queen of Swords or air or winter took over. Also, the King of Swords showed up. So, is somebody going to start to try to get into Antarctica who may or may not be there? So, today we're going to talk about the geopolitical aspects of Antarctica. Now, when I was researching this and studying this, I was shocked to find out, humans have only known about Antarctica for 200 years. It was initially discovered in 1820. By the British Royal Navy. Now, it was hypothesized that something was there for centuries. And as a matter of fact, in the 1500s, Spain claimed territory, everything south of Australia basically, as theirs. And the rest of the world let them because it was just hypothetical that there was something there. So that actually was handed over to Chile in 1555. So actually, Chile has the first territorial rights to Antarctica. But that all changed in 1820 when Antarctica was officially discovered. And it was discovered by, like I said, the British Royal Navy captain. They claimed that they saw it, and then the fun and games begin. Other countries started showing up. Russia and Netherlands started showing up, and it was established in 1840 that Antarctica was indeed a continent and not merely a group of islands or an area of ocean frozen over. And several exploration firsts were achieved in the early 20th century, but generally the area saw little human activity. Following World War II, however, the continent experienced an upsurge in scientific research. And in part four, I'm going to discuss pyramids, UFOs, and what was actually going on in Antarctica during World War II and shortly thereafter. There's a lot of different theories about that, but I digress. We're going to just talk about the geopolitical parts of Australia right now. Now, as of today, a number of countries have set up a range of year-round and seasonal stations, camps, and refuge to support scientific research. But only 7 countries have made territorial claims, and 2 maintain the basis for a claim, but most countries do not recognize these claims. So it is very disputed who has territory on Antarctica. Nobody outright owns Antarctica. And again, going back to that, it's not even a treaty. It's like Spain basically said this is ours, and everybody else went, yeah, okay, it's just water. Hypothetically there's something there, and that claim went to Chile, and that claim has actually never really been dissolved. So in 1959, there was an Antarctic treaty. Now, a treaty is not the same as ownership, as Spain claims that, or Chile claims that it has. Okay, so it was just a legal framework for activities of nations on the continent. So there's actually no country on the continent of Antarctica. Oh, also, I digress here. Antarctica means opposite of north. So opposite of the North Arctic is Antarctica. Okay, so the Antarctic Treaty was negotiated that neither denies nor gives recognition to existing territorial claims. So it neither denies or gives recognition to them, but Chile would have a good, if, like, for example, if they went to The Hague, they have a good argument that it's still theirs, because the treaty doesn't recognize that it does not exist. It was signed in 1959 and entered into force in 1961. And it was the seven original countries that made claim. Let's see. So I'm looking for those 7 countries. I just saw them. Sorry, Australia, Chile, and Argentina claim exclusive economic zone rights or similar over because of the 200 nautical miles extension seaward from their continental claims. But like the claims themselves, these zones are not accepted by other countries. 22 of 29 Arctic Treaty consultant parties have made no claims to Antarctic territory, although Russia and the United States have reserved the right to do so, and no country can make a new claim. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here. Let me see. Sorry, I thought I had this already all ready to go. And they don't take these 7 these 7 countries. They do not. It's not a democratic situation. It's that they come to an agreement on something. So it's not. They don't take votes on anything if anything needs to be changed or whatnot. Okay, sorry about that. I know I say I don't edit my videos, but I had to edit that silence part of it. I obviously weren't laying any cards, and I'm going to continue to shuffle. So you can see I didn't put anything into a specific order that the cards come out and say what I want to say. So what I was looking for was the treaty was originally signed by 12 countries, including the Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, Argentina, Chile, Australia, and the United States. Since 1959, a further 42 countries have acceded to the treaty. Countries can participate in decision-making if they can demonstrate that they do significant research on Antarctica. As of 2022, 29 countries have this consultative status. Decisions are based on consensus instead of a vote. The treaty set aside Antarctica as a scientific preserve and established freedom of scientific investigation and environmental protection. So I think it's very important to remember that even though these countries have territorial claim, treaty claim, the original 7 countries are France, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Norway, Australia, Chile, and Argentina. Those are the original 7 countries. France actually tried to pull a fast one and put a flag and claimed it as their own, and everybody told them to back off, and they did. There is one part of unclaimed territory. It's called Marie Byrd Land, named after Admiral Byrd's wife. And it's actually a big chunk. It's unclaimed. And Russia inherited the Soviet Union's right to claim territory under the original Antarctic Treaty, and the United States reserved its right to make a claim in the original Antarctic Treaty. They have not activated those rights. Brazil has designated a zone of interest, and that is not an actual claim. Peru formally reserved its right to make a claim, but again, it's not acknowledged. South Africa formally reserved its right to make a claim, but that's not acknowledged because once that treaty was signed in 1959, no other countries were allowed. Now, we have problems with China trying to come in and make claims for research and whatnot, and they're almost in a squatting situation where it's like, well, we are working here, and we've got a lot of people here, and we're doing a lot of research, and it's like once you get them in, try and get them out. Okay, so and there's also in the summertime, which is our winter months here in the northern hemisphere, and their summertime when they have 24-hour light and the weather isn't quite as bad, the population on Antarctica can grow up to 4,400, 5,000 scientists, and in the wintertime it drops down to about 1,000 people overall. What I find fascinating is that nobody actually touched the South Pole until the 1950s, and they had to fly in. and they actually landed on the South Pole. So Antarctica is pretty new in our modern history. It was suspected something was there, but nobody actually found anything until 1820. All right, and then even then, they thought it was just an islands and icebergs kind of thing, and it wasn't until much later. Anyway, so that's a long introduction, I know, I'm sorry. But I want to make sure I have my facts straight. So I'm going to ask the cards. Is there going to be another country? Is there going to be another country that makes a claim on Antarctica aggressively? Is there going to be another country that makes a claim on Antarctica aggressively? Because there is unclaimed territory, and it is quite a big chunk. And like I said, it's a consensus, not a vote. And not every country agrees with the treaty. So could somebody like a China, who doesn't agree with the treaty, just come in and plop their flag on the land? All right, so we have Two of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, Nine of Wands upright, and Three of Pentacles in reverse. No, nobody's going to come in. I think part of the problem is, and I'll discuss this tomorrow in the geography and what's under the ice, they have not found significant oil, significant minerals, plus to plow through 1.5 miles of ice to get to something is significant. How do you get employees there to work in minus 50? It's dangerous going in and going out. There's only 17 airports on the whole continent, and none of them have runways. They're all based on weather and ice roads and whatnot. So is there another country that's going to come jostling in? No. There's some countries that have worked there a long time and may feel that they have rights to be there, and setting up some boundaries. But is another country going to come in and, well, we have the Ace of Swords here in reverse, and that would be a big no. That would be a big no, because I asked a direct yes or no question. The Empress upright, well, that's a different card. Page of Wands and Judgment in reverse. We're going to hear of some development on Antarctica soon. We're going to hear something of significance, something that is kind of creative. There's only been one baby born on Antarctica, and that was in the early 1900s. That doesn't mean there's not women there. It's just there's only been one baby born. And just because the Empress is here, I think there might be some kind of like push for Antarctica somehow. But no, like I think there's nobody coming to gun for it. Queen of Swords. Well, there we have the Queen of Winter and the Three of Swords upright. I think it's too protected. I think that, another country wants to come in. Interesting, we have two female cards here. Interesting, betrayal. I think that thing that happened with France, that put the flag up and said, oh, well, we'll just take it all. And they're like, no. I think they have something set in there that it's well protected. Also, the Queen of Swords, remember that's Queen of Words. She does documents and contracts and legal documents and legal contracts and leases and treaties and agreements and consensus. And it looks like she's in a really strong power here. The only way somebody would get in is if there's a big betrayal by one of the other countries. And I don't know if they would want to give anything up right now. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody might come back to the table. I keep getting, we had that King of Swords show up. And Russia does have a right to make a claim because they were one of the original countries, but they reserved that right, and there is that unclaimed territory. I wonder this five of Pentacles, if this is Russia coming back and saying, yeah, we do want that peace. It could be Russia, it could be the U.S. Those are the only two countries that could, if you agree to what the treaty is. But like I said, countries like North Korea, China, a lot of other countries just simply don't agree with the treaty and say it's not a legal document. But the Queen of Swords here is telling me it is, that they wouldn't have a lot of to stand on. Interesting, we have 2, 3, 5 of Pentacles all in reverse as our cornerstones here, as well as a 2 of Swords in reverse, making the pyramid. I don't see anybody really making a strong move, really. And I think it's because it's like, if there was oil there, if there was gold there, if there were, the minerals that they need for the EV batteries, and it was easy to get to. I also feel like Antarctica is really protected by environment and climate change. But we'll get into that tomorrow when we talk about the geography of it. Justice, King of Pentacles, 10 of Wands in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse, 8 of Wands in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. No, you know what? The other countries aren't really big on wanting anybody else in. They're going to protect their land. That's what the King of Pentacles does. They're going to say the law is on our side. We'll go to the courts in The Hague, the world courts, and nobody's going anywhere. A lot of reversals in this. They just really aren't. They might be making enough money off all the research stations that have to be there. Like, China has research there. A lot of countries have research stations there for whatever reason. And they might be making enough money. They don't want to share what they're making. Interesting, we have 2 8s here, but yet there's 7 countries. I wonder if an 8th one is going to come in. 10 of Wands, release of burden. Release of a burden. I wonder if one of these other countries that push their way into that unclaimed territory actually then makes the contracts stronger in the world eye view. Because they really haven't been challenged since 1959. And a lot has changed since then in 65 years. The Magician, the sun. Well, we know the sun is dark there. I think that's a part of it as well. Look, isn't that funny? The 8 of Cups. What's missing is the sun and the Hierophant. It's also because it's just territories. Like it's kind of lawless. There isn't any real leaders there. Seriously watching what you're doing. It's also difficult to have a family there. It's very difficult to have a family there. But I'm getting a feeling something's going to break up this little happy family of these 7 countries with this 10 of Cups in reverse. 7, there's the 7 right there. They've worked long and hard, and look at that, almost looks like Antarctica with just a few little rocks sticking out and then snow everywhere else, and then the sun is so low in the in the autumn and the spring. The sun barely comes above. So I think this is the 7 that said, hey, we've been doing all this work all this time. 3 of Wands. We've been doing all this work all this time. Who do you think you are, just coming in here and taking and telling us what to do? And yeah, I think I'm getting a bit of that, because with this 3 of Wands in reverse, it's been us this whole time, and now you want to come and stir the pot. Ace of Cups in reverse, Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, and the Tower. I think somebody's going to come out of the blue and say, yeah, we want that. We want that space. And so just think there's one space left and two people who have access to it, who have rights to claim it: the United States and Russia. Let's see if we're going to see. Now, the cards have said, no, nobody really wants it, but we've got the tower moment here. Are we going to see somebody all of a sudden make a claim on it out of the blue for absolutely no reason? This Wheel of Fortune card here, thinking it's going to change their fortunes, because there really is no money to be made on Antarctica when all that research costs money. Yes, they're starting to do tourism there, but that doesn't help Antarctica, right? There's no government there. There's no souvenir shops. There's no economy per se, right? And so I think that's why other countries are like, no, it's kind of a money suck. And plus, how do we get people to live there? How do we get workers year round? You know, they can't bring their families, etc., etc. So let's see. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I don't know where it stopped. I'm going to do a challenge video. I'm going to put US on the top, Russia on the bottom, upright positive, reversals negative. Who's going to get that one piece of unclaimed Antarctica? I'm surprised they haven't claimed it yet, especially during the Cold War, and especially two big countries like that. Maybe they're just waiting to see who makes the first move on it. So Russia on top. I'm going to do Russia on top, Soviet Union. Oh, Russia on top, United States on the bottom. Wasn't that a Freudian slip? Russia on top, United States on the bottom, upright positive, reversals negative. Who's going to get that final claim of land? Let's see if the cards will also tell us why they haven't to date, but yet maintain that they're allowed. So, Russia, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. United States, 4 of Wands upright. Russia, Knight of Cups in reverse. United States, 10 of Wands in reverse. Russia, the World upright. United States, 4 of Swords in reverse. Russia, 3 of Cups in reverse. I want to make sure all these fit in. United States, King of Swords. Russia, 8 of Swords in reverse. United States, 5 of Cups in reverse. Russia, Wheel of Fortune upright. Oh my God. United States, Death. Russia, 4 of Cups in reverse. United States, 6 of Wands upright. And there's my, what's underlying, 9 of Swords in reverse. Sorry, I got to move these over, just scooch them over a bit. All right, so Russia has 1, 2 upright. United States, 1, 2, 3, 4 upright. If there was any kind of, I like to call it pissing on the post, because I think that's what they, like how dogs do. This is my territory. I'm going to pee on this post, but anyways, you know what I mean. I think the states would win. The states absolutely would win. We don't have any kings or I was looking for the emperor because Russia used to have emperors. But we have the King of Swords, we have the Celebration card here, and we also have the Victory card here. This is my United Nations card. Even though we have Death here, this is transformation. This almost looks like winter, right? Look at the snow and look at walking on snow. This is transforming something, transforming from the 4 of Swords here in reverse, not paying attention to it, not really paying that much attention to it. Russia might start sniffing around, and then the states will grab it. and for political reasons, says King of Swords, this King of Words. This is political. This is political. They're going to transform. All of a sudden, they're going to be interested in Antarctica, and they're going to want it. And for some reason, nobody wants to work with Russia. But they are going to somehow announce that, or start to sniff around. But they don't have any friends and any allies in the group that would be on their side. Like, you think of the countries: France, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Norway, Australia, Chile, and Argentina. Well, look at the United Kingdom, France, Norway. Right away off the bat, those ones are boycotting Russia right now, whereas those ones are supporting NATO, the U.S. So that's why I think Russia might start sniffing around. It's going to wake up to the U.S. to release the burden of, just having it kind of out there and having the ability for them to come and take it back. I think we're going to see the U.S. make a move on it if Russia ever makes a move on it. They think for some reason it will turn their fortunes around. They regret not taking it before. They really regret not taking it. 3, 3, 4. If they do take it, it's not for the right reasons. It's not for the right reasons. It's kind of to show that they're a little bit of a powerhouse. Interesting, they have very weak cards here. I mean, the world is the major arcana. It's ending. Wheel of Fortune is not particularly a strong major arcana because the Wheel of Fortune is always turning. So it's a very unstable card because you never know when it's going to turn again. It's to change their, I don't want to say victimhood. It's to change something. But they have no friends there. They have absolutely no friends there. Actually, somebody who might say, okay, like maybe a Chile or Argentina. I know Australia won't because they're part of the Five Eyes. One of them might say, okay, I might help you with that. I'll vote for you, or the consensus, right? They don't vote, it's a consensus. So the major consensus will be, we have this unclaimed land. Russia wants it. What say you? And everyone's going to say, no, no, no. We'll give it. Where's the United States? Yeah, the States has much, much stronger cards. It's something gets awakened in them, and I think it's Russia sniffing around, and all of a sudden, they want a piece of that pie, and so they transform it from not being claimed to being claimed. It actually, in some regards, stops some anxiety, and I wonder if that's the anxiety of the other countries, thinking that, this unclaimed part, is it going to create a problem? And if I read it correctly, I think Norway grabbed a second part. Norway has two parts. They grabbed one part in 1931 and another part in 1939. But somehow by settling this, it will lessen some anxiety they have. Maybe they do have anxiety of another country coming in who's not even part of the treaty, like a China or another country, and just saying, yeah, we'll have this. Thank you very much. But again, I think that would solidify their treaty in the courts in Hague, the world courts in The Hague. Well, that was interesting. I didn't realize there was unclaimed parts of Antarctica, and that not all the world countries agree with the treaty that was made in 1959. And I just don't. I think if there was oil or something, we'd see more of a wrestling for it. But it looks like if Russia does wake up the states, they'll just grab it, and they'll have the consensus right now, at this point in time, they'll have the consensus that it'll be the United States. Or maybe they'll split it. I don't know. But it looks like the United States gets the victory. Here it is, the victory party. All right. Well, off to part 3. That'll be tomorrow, and that will be on the geography of Australia. What's under that ice? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your great comments on part 1. I hope you're enjoying this series. It's very interesting. I mean, I could go deeper and deeper and deeper, but I don't want to bore you on that either. All right, take good care. See you online. Bye for now.